Hey everybody. For the recap from last week, we talked a little bit about the concept of an open tuning, or what's known as an altered tuning, and that basically just involves anything other than standard tuning. You can get very complicated with this. In the realm of folk music, there's only a few of them that get used all that often, and we'll stick with a couple easier ones. The most basic one is what's known as drop D, and in drop D, you take your low E string, which is normally tuned to E, and you lower the pitch to a D, so it'll match your D string here. So you take your low E string, tune it down to D. Okay, so you've got that down to D, and normally when you play a D chord, sounds like that. Your lowest note would be the D string. Now that you've got yourself in drop D, you're going to be able to play the low E string as the lowest note of the chord. So it sounds like this instead. You're adding a lot of depth and a lot of richness to that D chord if you're able to do the drop D. So that's probably the most basic of the open tunings. Next one that we talked about a little bit is what's known as double drop D, and for this one you tune your E string down to D, which we just did, and then you tune your high E string also down to D. So you lower the pitch till it's a D, and then when you've got this, it gives you more of a drone kind of a sound. So you can still play a D chord, and it gives you a really interesting, almost kind of a droney, almost kind of a sitar kind of a sound. So for this one, you're going to leave the top E string open, and then you're going to press down the 3rd fret on the B string and the 2nd fret on the G string, and everything else will be open, and it'll give you this chord here. Which is kind of a cool sound, and there's a lot of neat folk songs that are in the key of D that you can use that in. The last one that we talked about is what's known as open G, and for this one, you're going to drop both of your E strings down to D, which we've already done, and then you take your A string and drop it down to G. So we lower the pitch of the A string to G. And for this one, we're going to not really pay any attention to the low E string. We're just going to pretend that it's not there for what we're doing. And it gives you an open chord without pressing down any of the frets. So this is a G chord right here without having to press anything. It's a great way to get into a cool kind of an open tuning kind of a feel, and it's something where you can use one finger and play a chord by pressing all of the way across the strings anywhere. And that's the trick that Keith Richards used, was that open G tuning for all of the Rolling Stones songs. So the one embellishment that you can do is 2nd fret on the D string, 1st fret on the B string. 2nd fret on the D string, 1st fret on the B string. So that is an intro to open tunings for folk music, and I'll see you guys in class. Thanks.